Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 47 today and we are back for the start of Season 6. A massive opportunity against Partizan Belgrade in the second qualifying round of the Champions League. We got through the first pretty easily and now we're back for our big test. We've got some transfer news as well, albeit not as much as we'd like. And there's some gaping holes in this team. It's become a very frustrating transfer window at the time we thought it would probably be easiest. So if you're looking forward to finding out about that, and of course our first two big games of the season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from two long-term stories, and there's 2 live streams a week from Dundee United, as well as a link to the podcast channel in the eye above. Loads of football content over there. It's grown really quickly, so thank you so much for your support with this one and over there as well. But let's start the summer with transfer news, because that's what we're here for mainly, isn't it? And if we start with the history, going back to the end of last season, it all started pretty much as we expected. The first of a few players to leave the club was Liam Coyle, who went on to Cambridge United. A solid player, a decent pro, did a good job for us. Was one of our first real exciting loan players that our director of football brought in. But he's just fallen down the pecking order, so he moves on. He did well for us, over 50 league appearances, and of course he'll be remembered fondly. At the start of this season, we've also sold Jack Bolton, which has turned out to be a bit of an issue. He went to Wigan for £6,000, and Mitch Pixley to Grimsby for £1,900. We've bought in 3 players so far, and it would be fair to say I'm looking to do a bit more. I should also say we've extended the loan of Ian Brooks, so he's here for another season. Gwyn Tudor comes back from TNS, having left a few years ago, just because he's a homegrown player at the club and we want to try and get him to reach his potential. That's the only reason for it. The 2 first team additions though, Archie Woods, who is the replacement for Coyle, 3.5-star ability, 5-star potential midfielder, can play as a natural in central midfield and in the holding role. He's a good tackler, he's good on the ball, he's a proper ball winner. That's what we want to have. And I feel like in Europe particularly, he can give us that little bit of bite from the holding role. The other one to come in is at the other end of the diamond, the replacement for Mitch Pixley. That's Callum Maguire. He's a number 10, can play up front as well. 3-star ability, 4-star potential, 20-year-old Welsh under 21 international, and he's got all the attributes. A solid backup to Ben Cottrell and a good option for us in the squad, having been released by Chelsea. What you might notice, having lost Jimmy Jarrett last January, having lost Jack Bolton there, we're still yet to get in a left back. That means Kieran Clark, the 18-year-old, is the only option in the squad today. It is a big problem. We've also got no new centre-halves coming in, so we're still as weak as we were there, and we've still got no new goalkeeper coming in, although we are close to a loan signing that will change that position forever. And that's something I have to think about. We got to this sort of stage and this sort of level with Cliftonville, didn't we, in FM20? And then we basically had to fill the squad with loan players to make it more sustainable in Europe. Now, we can't do that in Wales because we're only allowed 4 loan signings per season. But we're probably going to have to start maxing that out now because I don't see another way of us competing. We're in big trouble in terms of 2 or 3 defensive positions. And although we're strong going forward, we've not lost anything from our lineup bar those positions. We're not continuing to improve. And that worries me when it comes to qualifying for the European group stages every season. So let me know what you think of that as we head into today's 2 games. The club atmosphere good, everything else is pretty solid. If we look at the schedule, we have played the first qualifying round in the Champions League. We played Valmiera of Latvia. They're not a great side in truth, and we beat them comfortably. A 4-0 win away from home with Cottrell, Hankin, Duffy and Glatzel getting 1 apiece. And then a 5-1 win in a home game. Duffy with 4, Harness with 1. And a big injury to Luca Cannell, which is a worry looking to today. The Irish under-21 international, still one of our star players and still our biggest earner, but he's been knocked out by this injury and will still miss out on this tie and probably whoever we face in the next round of either European competition too. So a few concerns going into these games, certainly in terms of off the pitch more than on it. This one I see as a bit of a free swing because we know we're going to fall into the Europa Conference qualifying and it's 1 round later than last year, so hopefully that will help us out. Pretty much everyone's got a heavy match load. We expect that in the early stages of pre-season and most of them are getting fit. However, Badebo now wanted by a lot of EFL clubs. The same for Joe Duffy, who has signed a new deal, but there's still a little bit of uncertainty there. And we managed to get new deals into a few of the others as well. So not too many that we've got to worry about. Nobody left with a minimum fee release. We have got to return to the bench today for Josh Thomas, who came back from his loan last season. He's going to be on the bench due to the injury to Cannell. And we've also got the likes of Maguire just building fitness, Hughes coming back from injury, the young centre-half, and Hockerhol's on the fringes of the squad as well after being out last season. My only real decision is centre-half. Do I go even press or Owen Toll? I'm going to go for Toll, I think. At right back, I've gone for Vaughan over Hankin. Just the more defensive options. The same for Taylor over Williams in centre mid. I've gone for those who are the better defenders, the better midfielders defensively, rather than those who are going to be our flair players. So that means our 11 for the first leg away from home in Serbia. It's Zabret in goal, Vaughan and Clark the fullbacks. Definitely the weak link of the team there, the 18-year-old. Centre-halves are Badebo and Toll. Woods in the holding role. He's already played in the first qualifying round. 1 start, 1 off the bench. Taylor and Brooks, the 2 hard-working midfielders. Cottrell, the number 10. And Dean and Duffy, the 2 up front, who can always cause trouble. They did it at Borussia Mönchengladbach. They did it at Utrecht. They did it in other ties as well. Can they do it here? That's the big question. Into the first leg we go. Well, I don't know how much of this Partizan team is greyed out. I would presume the vast majority of it. However, as we go and get into the first half, ahead of more transfer news I hope between the 2 games, it's just whether we go balanced or stay positive. Because away in Holland and Germany, going positive did work. But we didn't have a weaker defence then. This is probably the weakest back 4 we've played in Europe for a year. And I don't know that today's the day we can risk it. So I'm going to drop to balanced after 5 minutes. We're just going to try and cling on. Are any of these players... Oh, wow. So the centre forward is a 5-star player by our books. 20 years of age, 40 under 21 caps for Serbia, 17 goals, worth 1.7 million. He's not even their key player, who is the goalkeeper. Oh, geez, there's 2 wonder kids in that team. I don't know if the greyed out players are better than us or worse than us. Probably slightly better on the looks of things. I wouldn't say they're hugely standout, but probably championship level. So I think with us being sort of a League One side generally, we're the underdogs here. And the big problem is, we've got a couple of gaping holes in our team. The left back is an 18-year-old rookie. Toll and Zabret need replacing. And without that, this could be a long night, as you can see from the stats. Though we are coming forward with a Clark throw-in on the left. Duffy nods it down for Woods, and we have been very good at smash and grab on the counter in Europe, as Brooks gets it wide again. Can we repeat last year's brilliant run and the smash and grabs on the counter, as Taylor finds Cottrell through to Duffy? Oh, he's blocked. The defender gets goal side, and it's out to Bulic on the left-hand side. 20 minutes gone, first chance from a highlight, but Partizan have dominated the stats so far. Could be a long evening. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. As we get to half-time, it's 0-0 here in Serbia, and if we can finish the tie like this, I'd be delighted. We're yet to have a shot on target, we're yet to really threaten, but we've not seen much of Partizan, so that's just as good a sign. Apparently their wingers are having very good games, but they're not creating much, although Bulic has come back to make me pay for that statement now. Up to Kremenovic, the striker. Woods does well. That's exactly what we signed him for. We haven't improved in the positions we really needed, but that's one where we've really upgraded. And Woods is exactly what we need for these European matches. And that's not a bad ball either. Dean's offside. He looked it, to be fair. But he almost broke the trap. It was a lovely through ball. But it remains 0-0 and we do not get that crucial away goal. As Woods heads away a throw-in. Back to Majkic on the edge of the box. Just wide of the post. 55 gone. Taylor shattered out there. So after this highlight, we'll see what happens. Bulic in, 3 headers, Brett saves it onto the bar. Excellent work. Woods clears the cross again. He's getting there every time. Williams comes on for Taylor, who's shattered, who's having a poor game. And the other one in that boat is Clark, and we've got no left back. Taylor was probably the only other candidate. I will replace Vaughan at right back with Jack Hankin, just to get the quicker, fresher legs on there. And with 15 to go, this is turning into a good night. A 0-0 draw would be very much welcome. And then we trust ourselves at home as Williams goes back to Woods in a holding role. Can we nick that moment of magic on the break? Hankin beats the fullback to it. Into Cottrell. Just wide of the post. That was the chance. That was the one. Still no shot on target though. 0-0, 12 to go. It's a throw for Partizan. Woods there again. How good has he been intercepting? Not great on the ball and his rating's average. But we know what he's offered. As Duffy holds it up on the left-hand side. Through ball is headed away. And Williams will recycle it again. He has got that magic on the ball. Woods tries himself. Duffy flicks on. Dean's there. Good save. We are looking a threat on the break now. They're committing men forward, and we are looking more than likely to score the goal. Cottrell's got the in-swinging corner. 2 or 3 in there, it's headed away easy. And now we've got to watch the counter. So 2 on 2, it is not a good position. Who's back? It's Kieran Clark, the youngster. But Debo's chasing. He's on a yellow though. He's got to be careful. Milinic on the right-hand side. Back to the midfielder. Support from Jurovic. Back into midfield again. Brooks wins the tackle. Excellent work. And one more change to make. Who's it going to be? We've got the options of Press, of Benson in midfield, hard-working players. And I've got to say, Brooks is the most tired, so perhaps it will be him. Duffy up front looks out on a limb. We've got Glatzel who could come on. But really, do we want to waste a change on a striker when we've got to get the point? I think we have to bring Benson on. Brooks is going to be replaced. He's very tired. I don't know if both of those prefer to play on the right. I think they do. So I've Williams and Benson. One of them's going to have to suck it up for 10 minutes. It'll be Benson on the left of the Diamonds, but we tend to go, this is very close to being the perfect away performance. If we could just nick one on the break, it would be perfect. As the long ball forward is intercepted by Toll. Had an average game in terms of rating again, but playing well as Williams slides it through. Dean's there! We have got the goal! What a smash and grab again. Max Dean with 83 on the clock. And completely against the run of play, completely against the stats. It is Partizan Belgrade 0, Bangor City 1. And as we head towards stoppage time, the time wasting's going on. You all know the drill by now. Be more disciplined. We've not had to do this for a while with Bangor. Slow the pace down, drop the line of engagement, drop the attacking line. And we're still going to harry for the ball, but an excellent performance. We're going to drop the wing backs, we'll have them as full-backs on defend. Just a couple of minutes for them to see out from what would be the perfect away European performance. 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're rushing through them. And Bangor City do it again. Partizan 0, Bangor 1. How on earth have we won that game? With Max Dean and Joe Duffy up front, you've always got a chance. Special mention to Archie Woods. How many highlights did we see him intercept the ball? The holding role, it suits him to a T. Larn doing well from last season's Northern Irish save. Good to see that they're competing as well. But for Bangor City, it's another famous night in Europe. And now we've got a week of the transfer window before the second leg back up the racecourse. As we return for the second leg in a very decent position, we have got to this sort of position in the transfer market where we're now going to have to get loans in the 3 other positions, because even scouting players who would be slight improvements, who would just be solid pros as first team players, they want £1.5, £2 a week, which we're not making them the top earners at the club. The younger players that we're trying to get in, bar Maguire, haven't chosen us this summer. So it's loans we're going to rely on. We've got a few deals delayed to get this game out of the way, and then that will be the star attraction at the start of the next episode. But first things first, we are very close in the Champions League, and we have got an overarching bit of good news off the pitch. Now, I didn't mention this at the start because we talked about it in the end of 5-year review last time out. But just for those of you that didn't watch that or missed it, if we have a look at the club vision and the club culture in particular, we finally have got rid of that club culture item where we must sign players based in Argentina, which obviously with the work permit rulings and the stature of club we had was impossible. So that and the Italians now both gone, which means we can sign whoever we like and we've got no judgment against it. So it should mean we can get the best manager performance and also that we can go and instigate transfers and loans ourselves. We've got high expectations this year. We've reached the Champions League ones already, but it could go one better. We take a 1-0 lead from the away leg into the home game against Partizan Belgrade. And there's no other way of saying this. This could be a massive moment for the football club. We'll have a quick look after how the other clubs have got on in the Europa Conference. TNS not signed great players yet, only one player in, but it's a player that spent the whole career in England. So that's a massive positive that they're scouting back out the country again. So hopefully that will help us as well. But let's have a look at our lineup for today. I'm going to try and keep it as familiar as possible. Toll did really well last time out. His match rating wasn't great, but for me he played well, he was solid, he looked good on the ball, I'm happy. Same goes for Archie Woods. I will replace Taylor in midfield with Williams because we're at home, we can play a bit more productively. And the rest of the side, I think, bar the right back, is going to stay the same. Jack Hankins in, Daniel Williams is in, out go Vaughan and Taylor. Aside from that, it's the same 11. And bar Thomas replaced by Maguire, the same 18 as well. So let's go and get into it. Bangor City v Partizan Belgrade. And this could be one of the greatest nights in our career. Yes, we got to the quarter-final of the Europa Conference last year. But if we can get to the third qualifying round of the Champions League and get an okay draw and make it to the playoff round, we could be in the Europa League group stages. That would be a step up. Let's go and see if we can do it. Very similar team then. The goalkeeper and the striker still there. Bulic was brilliant in the first leg. We'll watch out for him. But otherwise, I think we've got to count our lucky eggs that we won the first leg and try and take advantage here. We're going to tell the lads to go out there and impress us. Most of them are motivated. We are going to start positive today. I want to get on the front foot at home. We've done it against big sides in the likes of Utrecht and Sparta Prague. Even Borussia Mönchengladbach, although they thought they'd won the tie at the time. So let's see if we can do it tonight, because this could be a very famous night. As we've got a free kick on the left with Kieran Clark. Long downfield towards Duffy, headed away by the centre half. The other side of it is we don't want to give away the away goal. But Brooks has nicked it high up here, gets into the box and tries to shoot straight at the keeper. He had three in the middle, he probably should have passed. An even start, but the first highlight is to us. And we keep an eye out. As it stands at the moment, we're going through. But Majkic has the corner into the back post. Vukovic heads just over. Oh, it's tense. I don't know whether to stick or twist. Do we go positive? Do we stay balanced? I just don't know. For now, the stats are starting to go in Partizan's favour. So I think we are going to drop. They're getting too many shots away. They're getting on top too much. But they're still coming forward now. As the throw-in's in from the right. Pavlovic flicks on. Kremenovic is up there. And a first goal of the season for the Serbian centre-forward. The Wonder Kid makes it 1-0 on the night. And in terms of the tie, it is exactly square. The only result that can make extra time occur. And at the moment, it looks like Partizan are going to score another. And at half-time, I'm afraid it remains that score. And if anything, it looks like we should be losing by more again. It was a smash and grab on the break, away from home. And at home, it's not been as good. But we've got an early throw in the second here. Clark plays a 1-2 with Brooks. Delivers early. Dean's up. Can't quite win it. Jack Hankin recovers on the right, though. Got time on the ball. Will he take his man on? He doesn't. Back to Woods. Not seen as much of him intercepting the play today. Maybe that's been costly. As it's back to Toll, who goes over to Dean. Flicks on. Duffy can't get there. And he's headed back comfortably to the keeper. I would say we haven't really threatened today. Anything we've thrown at them, they've dealt with comfortably. And they've looked like scoring a few times. As Clark wins it back to Brooks. Out to Duffy on the left. Can we change that here? Beats his man. The sliding challenge he evades. Gets it into the left. Finds Brooks. Into the box. Back to Duffy. What a finish by Joe Duffy. I've no idea what those acrobatics were in the celebration. But I said it in the first leg. I said it against Gladbach last year. And I've said it plenty of other times. As long as we have Dean and Duffy up front. And Glatzel off the bench. And Harness too. We've always got a chance. Our attacking force is so good and makes up for our defence as Wood gives it to Brooks. Out to the right to Hankin, into Cottrell. Good save by Murdzic. Excellent from the young keeper. And he's turning on its head. We have come out a different side in this half. A little more defensively structured, but going forward, the wing-backs are attacking. Woods is getting involved more. It's exactly what we wanted to see. With 25 to go, the only man who's really tired is Brooks, but he's absolutely brilliant out there today. So we're going to leave him. We will make some other changes though. Cottrell will be replaced by Dexter Harness. Maguire just back from injury, not fit yet. Woods is on a yellow in the holding role. So Josh Benson on for him. Played there loads last year. And we'll give it 5 more before the final change. As it's a corner kick for Partizan. Could win on away goals here. And it's just over the bar. And this is where the tension comes. 1 goal for Partizan, they're through. 1 goal for us, we're almost certainly through. And Vukovic keeps winning headers. But thankfully, he keeps missing the target. With 10 minutes to go, I've got a dilemma. Williams for Taylor is the logical one in terms of fitness. Dean's having a poor game up front though, so do I go for Glatzel? Oh, and now Brooks is shattered. I have to go Taylor for Brooks. I have to. We cannot have tired legs on for the last 10 minutes. Bangor City are holding on, and this could be famous as Duffy gets it back to Taylor into Dean. And now we haven't got to worry. Partizan need 2 goals in 4 minutes. Surely they're not going to get it. We're going to chuck the fullbacks to defensive duties. We're going to make sure we cling on now. It is Bangor City 2, Partizan 1. Again against the runner play in this leg. But it looks like we're going through to the Champions League third qualifying round. Bangor City are holding on, but there is a throw here for Partizan. Bulic on the left-hand side to Majkic. Can they set up a grandstand finish? From the edge of the box, they shoot. just wide of the post. We'll live with it for now. We'll put the time wasting on. We'll slow the pace down. But we are 2 minutes from history yet again. If we can get through this and one more game, we are guaranteed Europa League football. And that doubles the prize pot into the group stages. The lads look inspired. It was a brilliant performance. And Bangor City are through. Who will we have next is the big question. The draw is coming up in a moment. Well, the draw's already there and in place. And I'm starting to feel a bit more confident. Because our opponents in the third qualifying round are Ludogorets. Now, for those of you that haven't been following every episode, or maybe have just got a poor memory like me, if we go back to last season and the group stages of the Europa Conference, you may remember that in the first group stage game, we won 4-0 at home to the Bulgarians, albeit with Jimmy Jarrett in the side and scoring. And the away game, we won 2-1 despite rotating a bit. So we might have a good chance here of reaching a playoff, and therefore the Europa League group stage is a minimum. What if we got to the Champions League? I wouldn't rule it out the way we've been playing against Gladbach last year, the way we've started this season. The fairy tale continues, we are absolutely flying. And the next episode could be a massive one. To guarantee Europa League football instead of Europa Conference is a big step again for this side. So that's exactly when we're going to be back, a week today for Ludogorets. I did very quickly promise you that I was going to show you how the other sides were doing in Europe. So let's go and have a quick look at the Europa Conference qualifying. Oh, look at that. The team we lost to last year, Mönchengladbach, they won the whole competition. And we nearly knocked them out in the quarters. So let's go back to the first qualifying path and see where the other Welsh sides are. TNS went out on penalties. Not a good start. Just switching to the easier screen for the flag. Connors Key went out as well. They lost 4-0 on aggregate. Not looking good for the Welsh sides. We've only got the lowest ranked one left. Oh, they've done it again. Carmarthen got through. Wolf de Silva scored the goal. And they got through against the Lithuanians. What is it with Carmarthen and European football? I don't know if they've actually signed anyone this summer. They've got a few in. So a lone player from Bala, which seems a bit odd. Ross White, who's a 29-year-old Welshman, not a bad player. And Max Little, who's a young English keeper. Not hugely good. Came via TNS. But that's promising. Did they pull off a miracle in the first leg of the second qualifier? That's the question. Who did they have? Oh, well, I think they're definitely out, and it's understandable. Sturm Graz, one of the better sides in that round. A 4-0 win for them. But Carmarthen flying the flag in that competition again. TNS have been a constant letdown in this save. We have to get more out of them. They have to be more ambitious. They've signed one player all summer, albeit from England. But that's not good enough. And to go out in the first qualifier, they're leaving us in a bit of a hole and affecting the coefficient. So the onus is on us again, but it's starting to look good. So I hope to see you next week for Ludogorets. If you did enjoy this episode, a brilliant two-legger against Partizan, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of the little bit of transfer work we've done. A couple of good improvements, but I think we are going to have to start to be a bit more reliant on loan players until we can offer the wages that the others demand. Otherwise, we can't make big improvements to the squad, and I don't want to get stuck in a rut. It's important we build the nation for the reasons we explained in the 5-year review last time. So if you want to stay up to date and see if we can continue our European magic, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories. There's links to all the playlists in the eye above, 2 live streams a week from Dundee United, and a link to the podcast channel. But a massive thank you for watching, for joining me again for the start of another season. I do appreciate your support, and I hope to see you next time, because we've got more big nights in the Champions League. I'll see you there.